Hello everybody, I'm Kushan and welcome back to another Command Modern Air and Naval Operations stream. So I know I said I was going to actually take a break from Command this week and stream something else, but I actually changed my mind and I'm going to be doing another scenario design stream. The next one in my Cauldron scenario, or should say Cauldron 2018 series. This one's going to be unlike the last one, which was basically US and UK subs hunting French boomers in the Bay of Biscay. This one is going to be a air war scenario basically set in the North Sea. So this may actually be a multi-week stream or multi-part over the next couple of weeks. Let me know what you guys think of that, rather than the last one, which I just kind of did the initial setup and that was all. So this one I'd probably go through the whole process from start to finish on the scenario, but I'll probably break it up with the normal scenario play streams over the next couple weeks. But so let's get started. So this one's probably going to be a little boring in that it'll be just the main setup, setting up air bases, setting up import files, the fun stuff. So, first thing to do, set up sides, US and UK, and then we'll set up the EU. So I'll start with the US side. So I've set up some imports over the last couple of weeks. Did I not put them in the file? Probably not. Let me check. Command, import, export. That's interesting. I know I had these imports in there. Oh, I know why. I probably put them. No. I normally just dump most of my imports just in this main file, but apparently I didn't do that this time. So give me just a second to copy them over. I know, bad prep on my part. Sorry, guys. Been kind of a really long week for me. So, import, export. I have to say I've recently upgraded to Windows 10 and I'm really loving the ability to snap windows to like multiple corners of the screen. All right. So there's one and this is interesting. I don't seem to actually have my wonder if my computer did a reset or something. I don't seem to actually have my British bases set up. So I'm gonna switch over to do the French first, I guess. Because I do have these imports done. It's a little annoying. Now I am going to be using single unit air bases for this because really none of the air bases in the scenario are really meant to be attacked. So there's the French and then the German air bases. Germany. There we go. Awesome. So there are all of the OP4 bases. Now, first thing I want to do is I'm going to be using a scramble. Now, I really like this site for its order of battle, and I'm gonna at least try and approximate get the two sides as Air Force set up here. So we have tornadoes at Bukel. I'm pretty sure I just butchered that. Really sorry. More tornadoes at Holloman Air Force Base in the States. Well, since we're going against the United States, that's probably not gonna be there. Let's see so A310s, Eurofighters are at Lodge. More tornado or EF or Eurofighter fighters at Newburgh, Norvenek. So these will basically be the main German fighter bases for this scenario. So let's get started adding them. So looking for, all right, so Bukel. Now whether I'm, for the time being, I'm just gonna add units to all of these bases. Whether they actually all get used or not, I'm not sure. But I do have some ideas for some anti-shipping strikes and stuff like that. This is probably going to be an air war, but there will be a naval component to it. So, tornado. For Germany. Sort by year. Now this will be a 2018 scenario, just like Leicester Zeus Marine, which was the first Cauldron scenario I did. So these are IDSs. And I'm going to add 12. I'm not sure what German squadron sizes are, but I think for the time being, this will be at least a starting point. So I had to bring up my chat windows again. All right. So there's Bukil. So Lodge, I believe is right there. F2000. Germany, sort by year. Assuming these are single seaters. Now, at some point, I'll probably come back and actually add more to these squadrons, but... So, Nuremberg. F2000s. TLG 74. Now, the basic premise of the scenario, this scenario is I'm planning on basically being 7 days long, although it probably won't actually be 7 days long. As far as how long it'll play out, my my concept here is that the player essentially at the start is escorting convoys basically through the North Sea, through the straits here past Denmark, basically to Gdansk, Poland, and then to have basically a random event basically that'll trigger basically the EU basically launching a attack on those convoys. So we'll see how well that works out in practice. And then of course I'm going to set up some basically just the usual harassment kind of missions. So you never actually will know what is just a, harassment and what will actually be an actual attack. So some Norvenic over here has more Eurofighters. Alright, so no real need for helicopters in this scenario. And then Schleswig over here has Tornadoes, IDS, and ICRs. Aircraft. So Tornado IDS. LGS. I'm sorry, TLG. 51. So we'll say 12 of the IDSs and then 4 of the ECRs. Not sure if that's the actual breakdown or not. Although I am going to have to give the ECRs a different call sign. But I'm not going to worry about that now. And then Wittmundorfhafen has more Eurofighters. Wow, there's a aircraft. There's a lot of Eurofighter bases. TLGR. And we'll say another 12. And then, so I think this is the only bases that I have loaded here are their tactical air bases. I don't think I have any of their of the German support bases loaded, so I will have to actually do imports for those. Because it also doesn't look like, I'm not sure how current these are, but according, no, nope. I just misread Scramble. I was going to include the Tornado overhaul base, but I don't want to include that. All right, so that'll complete the Germans. Now for the French. Well, I will have to go back and I'll have to do a little bit of research because I do know the Germans have some tankers that I will want to add. No, probably what I'll probably end up doing here at some point is a lot of these bases down here are outside of the zone, so we're not really going to want those. And what I may actually do is I may just use the northern. We'll keep these bases. It's a little far out, but I think with tanker support, I think it'll work out okay. So let's start off. So Abu. So at Avord over here, they have EF or E3s. E-3Fs. So France. And EDCA. And we'll give them 4. So 4 sentries there. Alpha Jets. So at Creel here. Need to do a quick search with the wiki. Oh. Main page. Alright, just doing a quick little check here. Alright. Because I also know that the French also have some tankers. I might have actually erased all their Istre early on aboard. Here. I think what I'm going to do is I think I may actually move some of the French units and just use the northern German bases. A little split on the issue. But I guess for the time being, I'll reload the French. Reload those. Yeah, because down here they have is where their KC-135s are based at. So we are going to. All right. So we're going to move their tankers, I think, to a different base. And actually, finish getting their fighters and their attack aircraft set up, and then I will decide where things are going to get moved to. So down here, Mont de Marsan is a Eurofighter base. So Nancy, right here, looks like it's a Mirage 2000 base. Well, probably by 2018, this will be a Eurofighter base, I'm assuming. Or not a Eurofighter, but a Raphael base. Assuming that all the Mirages will get retired. And then Orleans, which was right here, has some C-130s, some C-160Rs, A400Ms at it. Saint Desire. Okay, so Saint Desire over here is their northernmost Raphael base. So Raphael, these are going to be Bs. So looks like there's quite a few Raphaels at the base. Let's take a look on good old Google Earth. France. And that was, I just want to get an idea for how big the base is. So St. Dizier. Base is pretty big. So let's see if we can clear the. Doesn't look like there's a good. Yeah, doesn't look like there's a good image of it. But it does look like it's a pretty decently sized base, so we'll say 36 Raphaels at the base. So slip back to here. Headed aircraft. Raphael Bs. EC 01 point. Now it does say there are some Cs at this base too. So we'll do a mix of Bs. So we'll say a 36 Bs. And the C, we will do, say, 24. There's a mix of both. So next up, alpha jets, we don't want those. Oh, we need to re-put the E3s at pricing, or at Avord. So edit aircraft. Let me see if I can find this back on Scramble. There we go. You know what, we'll give them 8. So 8 sentries there. So they have KC-130s, 135s down here, and we're going to want to move those. Now I'm thinking, just out of curiosity, what's it, Creel? So Creel over here, it looks like it's mainly a transport base. Yep, look like CN, yep, looks like those are the CN-235s, or maybe C-130s. They do look alike. But it's probably not a big enough base for tankers to operate from, or at least a large number of tankers to operate from. Yeah, see that base there's got plenty of room for tankers. So let's see if we can find another stand-in. Probably gonna be a little bit of a jumping around Google here. So Creel, I think this is the one we just looked at. This one's probably too far down in the south. I need to clean up the layers here a little bit. Don't show roads. Much better. Oh, that's... I never had to do that before. Kind of getting a little bit of a lag there as I tried to zoom in. Again, not really a big base. And that base is too far down south. Yeah, that base is way too far down south. I don't think I actually have the German bases in here at the moment, do I? I might not have made a backup of those before I reinstalled Windows a couple weeks ago, but let's see. Maybe I do. Nope, doesn't look like I have the German air bases in Google. All right. So I think for the moment, let's see. Flush. Might be able to get some KC-135s in there, but probably not many. Let's see, any of the other bases? Now, it's really not a big deal because you can really operate any aircraft from any single unit air base in command, more or less, as long as the runway is big enough. But I actually at least want to make sure that the base is actually would be big enough. You know what? This one may work. I think we could get some KC-135s there. And let's see, this already has Eurofighters at it. In fact, you know what? I really just need to stop being so anal retentive here when it comes to being accurate because it's really not going to matter. This scenario is a hypothetical scenario for 2018. It's really not going to matter too much what I decide to do. So let's see. So KC-135s. So France has the RG model. But I do want to at least try and get the squadron right. RB. Let's say 12. 12 KC-135s there. All right. So I don't suppose that the French imports have any radar stations, or the Germans. Doesn't look like it. German early warning. You know, we do have German early warning radars. Perfect.